Good morning. Enjoyable live stream yesterday and some great input from those who attended, particularly dealing with Sweden, which we'll come to, and Norway. We've got special techniques for dealing with Sweden and Norway at this stage of the season. And if you attended the live stream, you saw we dug out some brilliant late plays. All the O's, as we'll get to. Let's have a look through some of the major leagues yesterday. Any real plays? Premier League. This was Saturday, indeed. I don't think that Arsenal played 2 consecutive days and lost on 2 consecutive days. Asking a bit much. Anderlecht thoroughly deserved this lead. This is one of those matches where if you have an in-play stats feed, your consideration is for the half-time market lead. Such was it. And ironically, the first 2 goals were a penalty and an own goal. Very much against the run of expectation. We're expecting a nice, simple goal from open play. 6 shots on 8 off. First half in particular, 12 goal attempts, 3 on 4 off. It looked more compelling in my in-play stats feed. And we got that 100 plus attacking pressure index, which members who attend the live stream know about. That's when a goal is likely to come. So you could have got involved half-time here. Ghent, Beerschot, newly promoted Beerschot, be delighted with this 0-0. Probably not one I would have played had I been up for this match. Your automatic look is to take on these newly promoted sides. But Ghent, I suspect, will be involved in Europe. And that reins it back. In the live stream yesterday, we were umming and ahhing about whether to take on this Aston Villa lead. Arguments for, well, Manchester City and Arsenal losing away from home pre-Champions League. Similar story for the Aston Villa. Tottenham, my only negative element with Tottenham is just an inability to score that second goal in matches that count. I'm ignoring the Manchester City League Cup win because that's just Mickey Mouse. 1 goal, failed to score, 1 goal only. So that for me was just a slight concern. But bringing on Richarlison did, for me, just add a little bit of more confidence. He did come on. He came on very late. Sorry, Song Hyun-min. No, there he is. Yeah, 56th minute, Richarlison. Song Hyun-min coming back off injury. This win, don't take it seriously form-wise. You saw Aston Villa last week, only managed a 1-1. They're getting caught up with the Champions League fatigue. This is you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you're not. You'd love to be in the Champions League, but then it's going to impact on your league performance. And it is. Ask Man City, ask Arsenal, ask Leverkusen, ask Stuttgart, ask, who else was it? Monaco, and a whole raft of other teams not winning. Inter Milan just limping to a 1-0 last night against Venezia. Typical pre-Champions League. Let's just get this match out of the way. They should be winning 5-6-0 against that lot. Premier League, well, let's just see if I've got the screenshots for Tottenham and Aston Villa to take you through. Well, that is a pity. It was an interesting experiment yesterday to back both teams to score no, to cover that 0-2 for Arsenal, because they do, Aston Villa, because they do score 2 goals away, but this is pre-Europe. Tottenham, just a little worry with the goal scoring. So what I did, both teams to score no, that covers 0-2. Backed the 1-2 to Aston Villa. So the liability there for the insurance, about 20 quid. Then I go into the match odds, back Tottenham, lay Aston Villa leading. 1-1 gives you your first possible out. You could have actually made a net profit with that single equaliser. But we stayed in because we had 2-1 covered for Tottenham and we had 1-2 covered for Aston Villa. What we wanted was the 2-1 for Tottenham to come in, and that produced the biggest profit. Solanke. So don't take this defeat as any sign that Aston Villa are waning. It's not. It's pure fatigue. Champions League, as advertised by Arsenal and Man City. Man United and Chelsea. Rude. Could have done with him playing yesterday. This is one of the most draw-horrific matches in the Premier League, this one. I wouldn't have played it at all. Possibility to take on a Manchester United lead, indeed, given they're so wobbly, and that Chelsea attacking lineup can really fire on its day. Wrexham against Harrogate. I got stuck into this one yesterday. So I've got simulation mode for our experimental plays, and I've got my own dosh for the confident plays. And the Wrexham, we actually got a goal disallowed, but as ever, insurance pays off. It may cost you a little bit, but you've got to take it. Be disciplined there. Profit and loss. £50.96 loss on the draw. £50.96 profit on under 1.5 goals. Break even. We did get a Wrexham goal. They were absolutely dominating this match from start to finish. Just couldn't cross the line. That's the cup for you. Toulouse against Reims. Decided to back 1-2 and 2-1 here. Why? Two teams I don't know too much about, but both teams have scored in Reims' last 8 matches. Early season form, Toulouse are the third worst side in French League 1. Reims tend to win 1-2 against bottom half. So that is a very low odds entry point, isn't it? Low risk. And it's with good reason. If Toulouse score first, we've got a great chance of that 1-2 coming in. This match, I would have looked to lay Toulouse if they scored first, but ended 0-0. This is what we're talking about. It's the end of the season in the Swedish Superettan and Swedish Allsvenskan. And thank you very much to Bosun in the live stream for reminding me of that, because that opened up the opportunity for a 10-1 return here. Fabulous stuff. Both of these sides must win. With one match remaining after this one, they must win. Helsingborg, 4th in the league, looking to get automatically promoted with an extra 3 points, which will break them into the 50-plus point barrier. Örebro in a spot of bother in the relegation zone. But they were safe, Örebro. With that draw, they were safe. So you were looking at Helsingborg getting the late win. And for me, the final 2 matches of the season, you're looking at creating time pressure. Time pressure. That's what I mean, laying at 1.09. I didn't get in my 1.06 lay. My profit would have been even bigger. Braga and Oddevold. This is another example. Oddevold must win. Braga, it's dead rubber. They don't need to win. Mid-table, they're not getting relegated. They're not getting promoted. They're not getting involved in promotion playoffs or anything. They're leading 1-0. At this particular stage of the season, you go for the side with need, Örebro, and boy, did they pull it off. Oddevold, late winners, 1-1 and a 1-2. So we're going to be looking forward to that next week. Sweden and Norway, the seasons are ending. Norway's got about 3 or 4 matches left. We want to be homing in on the final 2 matches and looking for Örebro, Helsingborg, Oddevold. All of these sides who must win to put themselves in a good position for the last match of the season. Poliassi and Otelul Galati are looking for a red card, looking for that to be profitably done by Pjol. Otelul Galati, I think, were leading. Pol and red carded. Pol were excellent. It's only a very marginal profit, but I was just experimenting, laying over 1.5 goals and then backing Pol in the +1 market. Very skinny odds because of the red card factor. But making a net 23, about net 15 quid, not to be sniffed at with these stakes. And what I'm looking at is compounding, so my stakes will be increasing as my bank increases. Napoli-Atalanta, I think that was the day before, wasn't it? So it's a quietish day yesterday, but we still pulled a profit out of the fire. Freiburg and Mainz didn't take on that 0-0 late on. Mönchengladbach, Werder Bremen, we didn't play. Napoli, we did take on Atalanta 0-2 up, but very, very short odds. Why? Pre-Champions League Atalanta. Napoli under Antonio Conte, I'd have thought would have kept a cap on Atalanta to 2 goals, but no. Fiorentina are the form side in Italian Serie A across all competitions. I think it's a 6th consecutive win, 2nd consecutive 0-1 win. We should have laid the draw second half here. But Torino were putting in a good fist of it. They're coming off the back of 2 consecutive 1-0s, win and loss. Make that 3 now. So they've obviously got some defensive stoutness, but this is the form side in Serie A. Get them while they're hot, Fiorentina. They're bringing you the odds, the returns, at decent odds. Didn't play anywhere. This is what I'm talking about. Inter and Venezia, 1.17 pre-Champions League against a newly promoted side. You're expecting an avalanche of goals, but no. It's tumbleweeds in the first half. Tumbleweeds until the 65th minute. Got a goal disallowed from Mkhitaryan. What I did here, because I could increase my stakes as my bank increases, I had a go at the Inter win, but at covering the 0-0. So again, that's another 17 quid to add to the pot. So it's I don't know if I recorded that one. I didn't last night. No, because it was very, very late and I was getting fast asleep. I didn't get to bed till I think 5 a.m. yesterday my time. But if I'm making money and I'm helping you make money, then I'm happy. Started off with £186, 310.44. Now, if you want, it's more risky because you take a bigger loss. But if you wanted to start seeing if compounding can improve your chances, what I do, I start with a £200 back, divide that by 5, £40 stakes. £310 back, divide that by 5, we're on £62 stakes now. So 62 stakes here, that's going to be looking more like 60 quid, isn't it? Or 58. So there's a subtle increase in returns will increase the bank will increase the stakes will increase the returns, will increase the bank, and so on. But of course, you'll take a big step backwards. But we do have a high strike rate with this technique. So I'm tune in, put it this way, at the end of November, and let's see where that 310 stands. If I can just pick out a selection of good quality plays, keep the bank rising, then we'll have a good chance of reaching triple figure stakes. That's when it gets very exciting, because then you'll be looking at £200, £250 returns for every trade. You'll be very discerning then. All you need then is 1 or 2 a day, and you're in clover. Eredivisie didn't play that yesterday, but you can see the slant is purely towards goals. Spanish La Liga, they had a softball, thankfully, pre-Champions League Atleti. Ditto for Barcelona. We did take them on 3-0 up, and we got that goal from Espanyol. It's a Catalonia derby. It's pre-Champions League Barcelona. It's 3-0 at half-time. Complacency. 1.01, and Espanyol were threatening the comeback of all comebacks. We got that goal here, 58th minute offside. If that stood and that stood, you would be salivating at a 1.01 lay, which is a 99-1 back. This I'm disappointed with. I stayed up because I like Atletico Bilbao. Betis equalised. Betis scored first. This was a clear. Tom Berenger, the famous actor, getting the goal for Atletico Bilbao. They are rock solid, but as ever, there's always that doubt with this kind of attendance, Europa League attendance. But that was one which would have ended my night very nicely, particularly when your stakes are increasing. So that could have been a 50 quid profit with my increased stakes. So I'm going to try the increased stakes thing. I've got to get over the psychological hurdle of more than £40. I'm comfortable with £40. It produces a good daily return. I'm just wondering whether psychologically I can up it to 60, 70, 80, 100 and not be overtly affected by the loss, which will be bigger. So we will see. Allsvenskan, this was the only match of importance. Must win for both teams. You're going to be using the live standings at the end of seasons here at Soccer 24. This will turn into live. So once a goal is scored, you'll change your position. So Djurgården must win really for them yesterday, as you see. That was against Halmstad. Halmstad themselves a little bit concerned with Varnamo, only 3 points shy of them. So it was a must win for both teams, i.e. allay the draw. So if that was 0-0 late on, like the Super Etton, you take it on. Look at the late goals here. All the O's yesterday in the Super Etton had to win. All of the O's. Look at this. Pettersson and Kretzik. Kretzik could save their season. Oddevolt. We know these two needed points. So you lay that draw. You lay that draw. The later, the better. 1.09 I got there. Yasin. Lovely jubbly. So for these matches at the end of the season, you're playing until the 90th plus minute because time pressure could produce that goal that they need. Well done to the Turkish Yorkshireman. Ayupspor. Fantastic. Aye. Celebrating with a big cup of Tetley tea and a nice Orvis sandwich. Fantastic. Alan Titchmarsh, in his post-match interview, was delighted with the Turkish Yorkshireman. Nora Batty as well, she said, performing admirably at home. It's a key to their season, Nora Batty said about the Turkish Yorkshireman. And I agree with her. And then she got Compo and Clegg into an iron bath and went down a hill. Fantastic stuff. It's a typical Monday coupon today, so just be very, very careful. It's the dregs. Well, although due deference to Fulham and Brentford, they don't think of themselves as dregs. It's a London derby, so automatically I'm on the back foot. Form lines are thrown out the window in London derbies. These two sides are very equally matched. It's very tough to unpack. Don't fancy it. Lincoln, well, just pay some due deference to their odds. But you saw Wrexham yesterday. Do take insurance out. Particularly a 1-0 down, because a 1-1 takes you to extra time. That's a bit of a scary logo there for Lincoln. So 1.25. Look at the gap in the leagues here. This is National League South. This is League One. You're expecting a comfortable win, but you were expecting the same with Wrexham. So do cover that insurance if Chesham score first. Over 2.5 goal. Yes, please. English Professional Development League. Now, what you should be doing is focusing on the strongest candidates within the strongest over 2.5 goal league. You can tell it here. We go down to England, English Professional Development League. 69% over 2.5 goals, 87% over 1.5 goals, 53% over 3.5 goals. Outstanding. Now, if the penny hasn't dropped yet, then I can't help you. So what you're going to do here, it's cavalier to expect all of this to be overs, but we've had 100% coupon last time. Just check recent performances and head-to-heads as well. Those of you with the In-Play Guru, I showed you in the live stream how we dissected Dundee Kilmarnock and another match in Scotland, because Scotland had 60+% overs. I'm not sure if I recorded this, but we got involved over 2.5 goals in those matches, just with a little bit of research via In-Play Guru. But if you've got any stats feed, there we go. Hibs and Dundee. Bang. So what we did here, Hibs and Dundee season long, extremely poor over 2.5 goal stats. So on seasonal form, you don't touch them. They're down the 40% mark. But on head-to-heads, in every single match, and most notably, they've had recent head-to-heads. They've had both teams score goals before half-time and over 2.5 goals. So 15 minutes or so had gone. I backed over 2.5 goals at high odds, 2.66. All I need is 1 goal before half-time, whenever it's scored, and you can get out with a quick 14 quid. And that was compounded here with Dundee and Kilmarnock. Now this, both sides has had 80% over 2.5 goals in every single category this season, i.e. last 5 at home, last 10 at home for Dundee, last 5 away, last 10 away for Kilmarnock. And the head-to-heads, 3 recent head-to-heads, both teams scoring in over 2.5 goals. Wait for 15 or so minutes, back overs at enhanced odds, get out with the first goal, if you want. I'm happy to take 24 quid there. That's fantastic for the stake. So that's what you're missing if you don't attend live stream. We only had 7 people turn up yesterday, but there are 7 shrewdies I'm going to have to rethink doing Sunday live streams if that kind of a number keeps popping up, because it's an insult really to the amount of time and effort I put in. But it's up to you if you turn up or not. You come to join a trading service, you want to make money, come along to a live stream, please. Celta Vigo and Getafe, 2.1 the favourite. I've done the research for members. Just unappealing on paper. I don't have an angle in. Inter Milan, Venezia, clear angle in. The home win, but we've got the Champions League to worry about. I don't have that angle in Celta Vigo. Couldn't tell you who the winner will be. When you're trading, you want to have an idea or a bias towards a certain side. Lazio at home, for example, extremely good odds last week. Really solid. Yeah, they weren't even favourite, I don't think, last week, or they were big priced outsiders, 2.4 for a side of that calibre. So take the hint. That was pre or post Europe as well. So take the hint today. That is a readable match. Parma and Genoa. Maybe if you just dig the layers away, you might be able to get something. Como are newly promoted, so they're going to be targeted potentially. So this is what you're looking at pre-match. But of course, when you're trading reactively, any of these matches can produce a profit for you. You just don't know yet. Red cards, etc. So day off for me today, and I do need it. I've put in a lot of hours for you last night. I stayed up very late as well. And I hope you profited. I really do. And I really sincerely hope you can attend a live stream, because you're missing out. With thinking aloud and making money while thinking aloud, you're not going to get these on the Telegram service. So if you're into trading and you're going to be trading on a Sunday, why don't you come to a live stream? I don't understand those of you who want to still get the tips, but you're putting time aside to trade, but you're not attending a live stream. You just stick the YouTube on and listen in the background. It's great information, and it's money-making information as well. I do hope we can increase the numbers for the live streams. Elsewhere, odds on at home. That will be my first port of call on a Monday. Let's just collect your odds on initially. You've got a clear indicator here. So this is readable based on the odds, isn't it? This is not readable because it's a London derby. This is readable because it's a 74% over 2.5 goals or thereabouts. Ajaccio and Metz, no strong opinion early on in the league. Serie A, Como could be gettable. Lazio, certainly, probably the bank of the day. As long as they're not going to be unduly influenced. But playing on a Monday, they might not have any European fixtures, but they might have on a Thursday. So we'll have to check Lazio. Because if they're in Europe, you know they turn up and don't win and don't score. They are in the Europa League, Lazio, so that's the negative about this play today. But if you're coming in and trading it, just bear that in mind, particularly if Cagliari score first. In-play stats will tell you whether Lazio turn up, but that was emphatic. Brilliant performance against Como. Did lose to Juventus prior to the Europa League last time, but did win at home comfortably. They're in a really good form at the moment, I'm expecting. Have a great day. You won't be hearing from me today, but I might be doing some trading later on myself. I want to keep the momentum going up. I want to build that betting bank up and see where we can go. Have a great day. Don't forget, this week it's predominantly European club competition week. Very tough to read these teams because it's like derby-style matches, like the Fulham-Brentford, but these are high-profile derby-style matches in the Champions League early stages. We will see. In-play stats will give us a key indicator, but it's not like league football, Champions League football. It's not. You don't have any background of form, really, consistency in playing regularly to build up a picture. They're always one-off affairs. Have a great day, and I'll see you again tomorrow.